Fidel Castro, would you tell me why rights are limited in Cuba?
As a dictator, I don't like the fact that many people deserve to have more rights than others. Therefore, it's limited and everyone has an equal amount of rights. Not only that, but I hated the government from before and I wanted equality all over the country. That is why I became a dictator, seeing the poor suffer by the rich.
Cuba doesn't have many rights. Why wouldn't you want to have a wide variety of rights, than one with limited rights?
Like I said before, the poor used to suffer by the rich. Now that it's a communist country, we can all live in a standard economy. Prime Minister Stephen Harper, did you know that a communist country has a good standard of living?
Fidel Castro, they might have a good standard of living, but the rights are very limited. For example, the freedom of speech. If you try to speak up for yourself, or against the government in a communist country, you will be arrested. Unlike in a democracy, you are able to speak for yourself or be against the government. Not only that, but communists like yourself limited the right to privacy and the freedom of assembly.
That is a good thing. The citizens can't say anything about me and can't speak up for themselves. Furthermore, they are unable to protest about anything or the army will be forced in to stop it.
When you censored the freedom of speech, the individual's best interests were indistinguished by society's best interest. You shouldn't be lacking of human rights. Life with limited rights and freedoms shouldn't be accessible. Everyone deserves to have their own individual rights.
Having a limited amount of rights is good. Who would want people to have as many rights and freedoms? I don't want anyone to go back to slavery for the rich.
It's not good, and the limitation of human rights isn't acceptable as well. In a democratic country, all human rights are accessible until they are violated. As for the fact, you are violating these human rights and taking it away for no reason.
Having these rights limited will allow me to stay in power for a longer time.
Fidel Castro, you are denying individuals their necessary moral entitlements. Because of limiting the rights, you're treating the citizens less than humans and worthless of respect and dignity. The right to travel is another right that you have taken away from the citizens.
I took those rights away in order for the citizens not to leave and no other political parties can form in Cuba.
Rights are claims in which everyone is entitled to, and freedoms are rights that don't impose a duty on the government. If these rights were taken away, it would be like assigning new religions to random people.
Not all the rights and freedoms are limited in Cuba, and the ones that are the ones that have a threat towards me.
Everybody has the right to have a fair trial, and you got rid of that right when you became the new government of Cuba. Furthermore, you violate the rights by torturing people, arbitrary imprisonment, and extrajudicial executions.
Communism is a good way to live. The freedom to assembly has been limited because I don't want any protests or group associations to complain about the lack of rights and freedoms, or any economic issues Cuba is in.
The difference between a democracy and communist country is that a democratic country has a wide variety of rights and freedoms, while a communist country has a limited amount of rights and freedoms. Human rights allow us to express an idea that every individual is a part of morality and justice. Communism needs to be stopped, and every human in the world should have a wide variety of rights and freedoms. Not just that, but all rights and freedoms will be protected so no communist government tries to get rid of them again.